Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Yeah, right, Lorraine. Power hour, right? Let's just hope it's not going to be like power sleeping. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I saw a bunch of questions like zoom by. Remember, I only have 4 lines of chat. So if you asked a question right when I got in, if you don't mind, please reposting so I can see it. Hey, Tim. Ashwin, did I take any simplicities today? As a matter of fact, I did, Ashwin. Are you in the Sniper One mentor group? Oh, you're not. Okay. Yeah, because I actually posted my chart in there. Um, it was just kind of like a recap. It happened during lunch when I took it, right after session. Um, let's see if I can post it again. Well, I think Olaf just put it, so he beat me to it. Yeah, that's the one. Good afternoon, Beth. How are you? Nice to see you. Were you in this morning? Did I miss you this morning? Oh, okay. Joseph, what I did is and I think I covered that in the simplicity video that I did. What I did is I had the chop and market warning indicator. I put it in twice. And for the plot, I selected dots instead of the lines for both the ISV2 and 1. And I set it to bar close. And that's how those dots show up. And yeah, so I don't remember who it was I was talking about. The Elijah. Yes, the trade that I took. So originally, if you look at that screenshot that Olaf had was kind enough to post, that I actually posted in the mentor group. So the original entry, which was back at like 12:0. Here, you know, let me just look at my live chart and I'll tell you exactly what it is. Let me back up here for a second. Okay, so the original entry I was in at 12:07. So 12:07:30 is when I got in. My target initially was settlement all along. And what happened was is that it got into another consolidation and it started at 12:13:30, and then the trade actually stopped me out at 12:19. And when it had that consolidation and it broke that consolidation again to continue, my target was still set on settlement. So when I got my confirmed entry again, which was at 12:30:30, then I got in, and then another 20 points right there, and it took me right to settlement. I think it was 20 points, wasn't it? Was that the one? 88 to 68. Yep, that was it. So that was the story behind. And then what I didn't post on that chart was what I did after that is that I took another simplicity, but I was already done for the day because I hit my profit goal. And then I took another simplicity trade in sim when it bounced off of settlement and set up long again. And I think I got it for like, what is it, 80 ticks or something like, I don't know what it was. But I got in at the 1236.30 bar. Price level was 12,188.50, and then I got finally stopped out at 96. Yeah, so I got 10 points out of it. So dash my Lorex, my setup that I look for in the Lorex is basically a TX with trapped orders, with a cluster, a mini magnet or a paw, and an OPR or absorption X. So all those conditions have to be met for me to take a Lorex. Oh, and a TX off the 30 as well, sorry. The TX indicator is off of the 30 tick, and I'm having it basically display on the 10. Grant, again, no batteries in the mouse. And yes, I just put a fresh charged battery in my headset. Thanks for keeping me honest. Yeah, I bet. I bet, Grant. I'm sure. You guys will do just fine when I'm not here. On a PC running Windows 10, what is the best way to connect to Apex Investing Trade Room? You mean like the room that we're in right now? Because that's the only trade room that Apex has is this, the Elite Room. How did you connect now? Oh, I see. Okay, so I actually have a shortcut to Hotcom. I don't know. I set this thing up like a year ago, so I wouldn't even know what to do. But yeah, that little icon running, that's it. That means that the Hotcom app is running. So I don't actually go to the website to log in. I just click on the um, icon that I have. It's like a shortcut. Okay, I just saw something like fly by and I only got the tail end of it. So I don't know who was that posted it. This long question. So my stop initially is 21 ticks. Okay, Iman, got it. So my stop is 21 ticks, and the target we all know is 10. So I'm using just a standard sniper, Lorax, whatever, ATM, and that's what I use for the Intrabar Scalp. Now, the only time I ever move it is if I'm trying to hide behind some order prints that are along the way. Now, I've never really tightened the stop. I've widened it. And that's just because if I'm trying to, like I said, hide behind order prints, that's way beyond my stop. I'm not going to say way beyond, but within like 5 ticks beyond, so I'll move it. But normally, the trade will only go like maybe 10, 12 ticks against me. 13, I think, was the most I've seen, besides the 17 that I took that I actually enlarged the stop, and it was last week, I think. But usually the trade just kind of goes on to win, so it never really retraces that much. Olaf, what's new to you? Sorry. I guess I must have missed something that went. Um, yeah, no problem, Iman. Again, that post that he had posted. So power hours, generally simplicity or sniper or both. Power hour, basically the main reason that I actually even got into here is just to talk about the Intrabar Scalp. And then through time, not that we've been doing this for this long, I think we've been doing this for maybe like a month. Other questions are popping up, and I try to answer as much as I can. But I focus on calling. Primarily, I only call the Intrabar Scalps, which, by the way, RTY is setting up right now to go short if we get a cluster, and the entry would be at 70.6. It would have to retrace up quite a bit. We need a cluster. Just keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. And it's now gone. Oh, I see. Okay, Olaf, I got you. Dash, the order print is like the cluster level. I don't understand the question. Dash, sorry about that. Oh, you mean the order prints that I hide behind? No, not the cluster level. It would be like mini magnets, pause, deviation, um, anything that's considered a level. Stacks, mini magnets, a mini magnet off of 30, things like that. Okay, good. You got it. Excellent. It's so funny. Look at all the crazy market action that we had today. And NQ is right at settlement. Right where it was before Powell started speaking. Grant, I don't know. I think he's done. I think he was only scheduled to talk yesterday and today. the, I don't know which dash, I don't know how many dashes we have, but dash that's new. Welcome. Welcome to Power Hour. Markets I'm looking at are YM and RTY, and I'm looking for intrabar scalps. Basically trying to catch 10 ticks with inside a bar. Ashwin, NQ Simplicity Trade. How many ticks hard stop is recommended if you want to do it that way? That's a tough call. I don't know, Ashwin. Because technically the way you look at, if you look at the simplicity rules, it states that your stop should be your setup bar, wherever the solid line is, that's your stop. And then you actually place your stop order 5 points behind that in case the market spikes against you. So the risk constantly changes depending on your setup bar. And the way I have my simplicity setup working, which is way more conservative, and the setups that I look for, I initially start out with a 15-point stop, and then I usually move it a little bit here and there, 5 points in either direction. It's very rare that I'll have a stop that's greater than 20 points. Dash, when I'm talking about NQ, I'm talking in points. And if you want to convert it to ticks, just multiply it times 4. So my initial stop is 15 points, or 60 ticks. And if you want to convert it to dollars, since I'm trading micros, and I'm trading 2 contracts, it's $60. So I have $60 risk to make $80 profit. But if you're trading off the room charts, you can pretty much see where it would be. So it's the same thing. I mean, I don't recommend trading simplicity unless you have it on your own chart. So. And it's IQ feed, by the way, Ashwin, not CQ feed. Yes, that's correct, Corey. You do need to have gold to get simplicity. And then you have to get the data feed to make sure that the indicator works correctly. You need to have the right data. No, Corey, it's like IQ feed, and it's $106 a month, or $111 a month, whatever it is. And you can go with either IQ Feed or Kinetic, but IQ Feed is way better. Their customer service is really, really good. But like for example, today my micro accounts, I made $146 in micros trading the simplicity that I did. So one trade will pay for your monthly data fee, and that's trading micros. And I basically covered all that on how to trade simplicity and not blow your account by the video that Ben and I did a while back. Here's a link to that, the video. It's moving a little bit, but it's moving. Robert, the question is Intrabar Scalps a market execution order or ATM limits like Sniper? The Intrabar Scalp basically is you're trying to capture 10 ticks within a bar based on certain conditions that we're looking for. So we don't use anything. I mean, there's no sniper setups, no sniper trades, no anything. We're just looking for specific conditions to be met, like, and I'm calling it large or larger than normal stacked orders on a mini magnet, which is on either end of the bar. That becomes our target, and then our entry point is 10 ticks away from it to try to reach that target. A red and blue TX. So a red, if you want to call it a red TX, it's not really trapped orders, it's leading orders. So like for example, if you look at RTY right now, the sell was red, now it turned blue and there's an X box around it. If the bar closes up, that 38 will turn red. If the bar closes down, then the 38 will stay blue. So it's basically trapped when it's blue, it's leading when it's red. Got it, Vern? Okay, cool, thanks. So let's look on RTY and see if the bar will close up, which it could, maybe. And then it'll stay red. Actually, it's probably going to go away because it's going to make that X box bigger. So that cell is going to go away red. Because the bar is going to close at 05 and the low of that X box is at 09, I think. So that's too big for an X box, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that 48 cell is going to go away completely. The number will stay, but the cell will go away, the color. Okay, Vern, so you're talking about the TX coming off the 30 tick for Alorix. Remind me again, what was that the question? Oh, the red and blue TX. Okay. So the blue TX off the 30 means that once the indicator fires. If it stays blue, that means that the TX stayed on the 30 when the 30 bar closed. And if it's like, what is it, like magenta or whatever it is, that means that the TX went away when the bar closed. No, Ashwin, simplicity on NQ only. Vern, does that make sense now? I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question, but now I do. Dash, I trade the Lorex. I don't trade Sniper, but yes, I do keep it at 21 ticks. That's correct. The TX and the TXFs are different. TX is just a regular TX, and the TX filtered is a filtered TX. It's got more requirements. Corey, yeah, you sign up for gold, so you'll get the choppy market warning indicator for your simplicity setup. That's correct. I have 07 as well. One second, guys. Let me take this call. All right, sorry about that. Corey, so when you sign up for gold, do you have to load new indicators? I don't think you have to, but I think you might have to just either, I don't know what you have to do with the toolkit. I don't know if it shows up instantaneously. I'm not really quite sure how it works, but you'll get access to those indicators. Then you have to put those indicators on a chart, and you have to build your simplicity chart. Okay, Vern, so there you go. You got the word and the law down from the guy who wrote it. This is what's happening with the blue and magenta TX. Oh no, Corey, it's fine. Yeah, you have to set up your simplicity chart, just like you would set up any other chart. But you'll have the indicators to do that once you purchase gold. Is it Carlos, Marcelo, or both? How do you want me to address you? And I'll answer your question in the meantime. I don't trade simplicity on ES. ES was designed on NQ. Okay, Carlos. So yeah, I only trade simplicity on NQ. Don't have any idea how it does on ES. I have no idea. No, I mean, Sniper works on ES. I just don't trade ES as yet. I'm going to use that as a caveat in quotations, yet. I will be starting to test some things on ES, but I don't trade it right now. I primarily trade RTYYM and NQ. NQ Simplicity and RTYYM, I trade the Lorex and the Intrabar Scalps. But I did start out with Sniper on all three markets, NQ, RTY, and YM, and I learned very quickly that trading Sniper on NQ is pretty much almost impossible. At least it was for me. So I stayed away from it and then just stuck with YM and RTY. And that's what most of the stuff is being talked about in the room too, also during the morning session. So you'll get the most, I want to say, I guess, feedback on those three markets. What do you mean, how do I use the choppy market indicator? How do I read it? If you go into boot camp and look at the simplicity video, it'll teach you what you need to know on how to read it. Ashwin, I think it'd be really good if you just go and watch the simplicity video, and then it'll explain a lot. All right, Grant, pop quiz. What do I do here? RTY. Well, that mini magnet's going to go away because our entry would be at 71.4. So that mini magnet's definitely going to go away for us to get an entry. So, and especially now that we have the cluster, I would actually put in an entry to buy long at 71.4 if the 738 stays. And I don't think it's going to retrace enough to give us. I think it's going to get taken out right now, that 738. 74.5. What's at 74? Whoa, what's 74.5? 71.5. Yeah, you can, yeah, 71.5. $71.4, $71.5, same thing. Regardless, it's irrelevant. It's a moot point at this, like I said. And the reason I was confident about putting that order in is because I saw that NQ was really pushing to go, higher. So I knew that RTY was going to follow it. My hope was it was going to retrace enough to get me in, but it didn't. So this is where simplicity helps a lot in decision making. But the reason I asked that, Grant, is because the way it was setting up, that lower mini magnet was never going to stay in play as long as the higher mini magnet stayed and did not get taken out. It would have to take out the lower mini magnet to get into our entry because it was inside the 10 ticks. Does that make sense? It doesn't really matter, Beth, as long as it's pushing. Okay, what about this YM intrabar scalp right now? Go or no go in which direction? Never mind. It's gone. But it would have been a no-go either way. Do you guys like these sort of pop quiz things along the way, or should I just stop doing that? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I'm actually glad we get a lot. I'm surprised how much interaction we're getting. I mean, this is great. We're getting as much, if not more, in here than we are in the mornings, which is awesome. I wish some of the newbies would be more involved in the mornings. Like I was trying to do that this morning. So what, because she's in, you think people are more apprehensive about saying anything? I think it's kind of crazy because you got the person with like the most knowledge on the planet on this. Yeah, Nancy, I know, but if you ask the questions, you'll get them answered. That's the thing. It's even though other stuff is being discussed on a more advanced level, right? Um, it's all based on the basics. Yeah, Brandon, like I said, I have to agree. I mean, this is one of the things that I'm just so grateful and thankful for is to be, part of this community. I don't know of anything else that's out there like this. YM? Not yet. Or what if it does what it just did right now? It just completely blew through it. Yeah, it's Dash. Do I see a reason not to get into simplicity at 3:30? Um, well, let's see. No, I do not see a reason, and the entry for me would have been at the 15:35:30 bar. That would have been my entry. Yeah, if you're new and you haven't mastered sniper yet, I would be very, very cautious trading simplicity because you can get yourself. Two things will happen. You'll either take a couple of trades that will win, and you'll give yourself a false sense of security that, oh man, I got this thing, and then you'll get clobbered for weeks on end after that. Or you'll take a couple of losing trades, and you'll go, oh man, this simplicity thing is not for me, and then you'll give up on it and never go back to it again. So, and it would be unfair to you in either scenario. Yeah, Grant, you're right. It was its settlement, but the thing about it is that it had a pretty decent consolidation period right at settlement. So eventually it was going to break one way or the other. It's either going to break short or it was going to break long. And if it breaks long, we need certain conditions. And if it breaks short, we need certain conditions. So the break long happened right above the wall at, what is it, like 12,178. I just hope I don't miss any like Intrabar scalps while this is happening. So if I was still trading, which I'm done trading for the day. I'm not trading live anymore. Then yeah, I would have taken it long because it was within my parameters. No problem, Iman. Thank you. Thank you for being here and joining us. Again, because my criteria is a lot more strict than the standard simplicity, I took the simplicity setup and I tightened up the rules even more for myself. So I look for like extra confirmations, just like I do with the Lorex and everything else. So I try to put the edge as much in my favor as I can, and the more confirmations that I get, the sharper my edge becomes. And that's why. So if you look at it, I mean, again, in hindsight, it's always, 2020, but the result is the same. The trade would have still been profitable. The target would have been blue ice no matter what. So you gave up, what, 5 points? 10 points? So what? It's okay. I'll give up 5, 10 points to make sure that I have a higher probability trade. Ashwin, if there was a way to answer that question, just just think about that for a second. Simplicity is designed to run. DC, I haven't seen the squirrel yet. And I never got the answer to my question. Where you would shoot him. How far down the road? Uh, not big enough yet. Jeremy, that was to you. The answer to you. George, what was your question? I apologize. I did not see it. Uh, Corey, that's a good question. Me personally, again, that's just me. I would start with RTY. See you, Kevin. Um, George, the answer to your question is Greg. Are you in here? Actually, you are. I saw you in here. Are you still here? You want to take a crack at answering George's question, please? Um, because that was my target all along today when I was targeting long. Wait, is it just me or like the market's just like completely stopped right now? That's so funny. George, did I see the black cat from the Matrix? Um, yeah, I'm trying to understand the reference though. Well, guys, remember we talked about this, right? A no trades day is considered a winning day. That means you were able to stay out of something that could potentially have been harmful to you, right? So always take a day that you didn't take any trades as a day of trading well. Okay, pop quiz. RTY. What do we do?
Order submitted.
Okay. That's one option. Well, the mini magnet on both ends again. We've got one that's 37.66. The other one's 11.19.
Order submitted.
The 11.19 would be your entry to get in, so it would get taken out. So right. So while we were talking about all this, my entry was already set at 79.6, and now I'm basically waiting to hopefully this thing will go long. Nancy, what do you mean? Which numbers am I looking at? It's 37. Right now it's 37.65.
Order filled.
And it just won. So there you go. How many of you guys got it? Nice. Cool. So again, when I was calling it, guys, one of the things that I was telling you is that there were 2 mini magnets. That's correct. No, settlement does not matter, DC. So there were 2 mini magnets. The top one was really big, and the bottom one had to get taken out because that was where our entry was going to be. So we know that for us to get in, that mini magnet has to not be there. Well, it's not going to be there once we get in, right? So that works in our favor. Yeah, so for me, I usually like to get in a little bit early. The results were still the same. Carol, it's recorded. So I'll post the recording once we're done. The recordings are on my YouTube channel, which is I'll post the link unless somebody's going to beat me to it. There it is. Yeah, Corey. There is private mentorship that for a fee that is being offered by me. I'm still putting the details together, and I'm going to do a webinar or a roundtable with Ben about it. Probably, we were hoping to do something this week, but it looks like it's probably going to be next week. All right, Beth. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Robert. See, being patient definitely pays. Yeah. Well, once we do the podcast, the roundtable. All the information will be there. But if you want, you can send me a Skype in the meantime, or you can just hold off because it's coming. It's coming real soon. And there's gonna be some really cool stuff. I think you guys will really like it. So, anyhow, thanks guys. It was great being with you guys this afternoon. We got another winner. I think we're like 16 or 17-2 now for the Intrabar Scalps and Power Hour. So we're doing good. We've got some good success with it, which is great. My Skype name is the same as it is in here, Ron-Large Pips. You're welcome, Neil. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, day, or wherever you are in the world. And then we will see you guys tomorrow morning. And if you're not there and I miss you guys, then I will hopefully see you tomorrow afternoon. So with that, it's been fun. Again, thanks. And then we will see you tomorrow. Take it easy.